Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 20th of May. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. This week we have Origin Energy, Woolworths, Lotus Resources, Life 360 and Carnaby Resource. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you're getting the free newsletter every Thursday. But if you want the best ideas, you need to be getting the Dynamic Investor Report, which comes out every Tuesday. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review on Facebook and Google. Our main business is portfolio management. So if you'd like to open a broking account and work with me directly to help you, then please let me know. And all the advice here, of course, is general only. So looking at a 1 year daily chart of Origin, I did have a look at this one in one of my other videos, sort of back here in April, just noting the weakness. So we've had, after that initial bounce in November, we've had these lower highs and then that very negative decline in April, which was obviously a bit of a warning sign. So it went straight to this support level very quickly, and as expected, quite a feeble rally off that, and then it's broken that October low. So looking negative here, breaking that October low, failing to rally. Look, the way this is going, especially with the pickup in volume on the downside, I'd expect more weakness from here. Okay, Woolworths. So look, over the last year there has been a trend higher, quite a slow trend, but it looks weak in my opinion. So if we have a look at just the last 6 months, we could see the daily volatility is increased quite a bit. So we've got these really big daily ranges, which is quite unsafe. I mean, on the way down here, on the way up, again, instances on the way down. So to me, that's a bit of that volatility is a bit of a danger sign. The recent falls here are very impulsive, happens very quickly. It did bounce recently by holding this low, but I just think with this sort of volatility, I suspect that even if it can get close to $42, it'll be hard to crack that. I think, I think there's probably more chance that it'll start to roll over. So $39 is that clear sort of level there. So just, it remains to be seen what happens, but I just think with this sort of volatility, there's more risk to the downside. Okay, Lotus Resources. So look, I think this is a great looking chart here. I mean, we've had this sort of classic sort of period there where it had this sort of sideways, after rallying high, a bit of a sideways consolidation. And then eventually gave way to a breakout, came back to retest, so just sort of classic situation of coming back to retest the break, and then within a few days it rallied up to a new high again. Good volume on the days when it does rally. So I think this thing's just going to continue to rally fairly strongly from here. Okay, Life 360. So we could see that sort of at the end of last year, we had this nice sort of flat consolidation. So it sort of rallied, flat consolidation, then broke out of that, and then started to resume that uptrend. So look, at the moment it's looking good. So far, so good. The uptrend's still in place. I mean, most recently, we've seen it come back to the prior low. So obviously it needs to hold that. It's had a few goes at sort of bouncing off that. So a bit of a good sign that it wants to get going again into the uptrend. So look, I'd be happy to hold here, but clearly if it starts breaking under these levels, let's call it $5, that would be a negative. Okay, and CNB. So I think this is another great looking chart. I mean, we see from that peak in October, yes, there was a decline. And if I was watching it, this would have grabbed my attention here, just the fact that it started to level out. So we could see these big sort of daily movements, then the volatility died down, started to flatten out. And then, you know, potentially a buy here, but definitely on this day up here when it cleared this sort of flat base, that would have been the buy signal. And since then, it's been rallying really nicely. You know, good volume on the way up. When it comes back, it's fairly corrective, which is good. So, look, I think this should, from what I see at the moment, should just continue to head higher. I think there's clearly, you know, there's clearly going to be some resistance levels. You know, you're looking at, you know, probably 50 cents and 55 might trouble it. But as long as the profile continues to look like this here, I don't think it'll have any dramas. So yeah, so far so good. All right, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through. I'll try to look at it next Thursday for you.